These are too tight, man. See, that's what happens when you watch videos. Like, they're like, just do this, just do that. And then, when you've got something that's, when you got something that's stuck, man. Oh, shit, that one came out. Thank God. I would have never been able to do this. So look, this is the first time something has been this stuck. And I've had to play with this force to be able to take it out. My solution to many problems. Let's see. Oh no, mother beep. How something seemingly so simple can be completely and utterly pooped on.
Painful experiences and challenges come to us all. But it is through these opportunities that we build character and we grow. Second is to keep in mind that we'll be able to correct many of the mistakes you make along the way, just like this eraser. So if we learn from our mistakes, they're not mistakes. They're lessons we can use to do better the next time around.
I still have to upgrade my gear. I still have to, so I have to just, I guess, start observing the battery levels on it, you know, and just run with it slowly, go with it really slowly, and make sure, you know, I can work up the trust that it's okay to ride. But stupid learning lesson, dumb learning lesson.
I stripped that Allen screw.
Look, it's gonna happen. I looked up a YouTube video to get an idea of what other people have done. And there are a lot of credible people out there, you know. They know what they're talking about as far as the wheels. That doesn't mean that they won't make a mistake. And that doesn't mean that their success will be your success. Oftentimes you'll find yourself trying to copy what people do, and every situation is more unique. If your screw, like mine, after I extracted them, showed that it had Loctite, had some glue on it, maybe theirs didn't have Loctite on it. So they were able to use an impact drill, but for me, the impact drill didn't work. And now the lesson. Something I should have known, I did know, but I was just blindly going through the steps. Or just casually going through the steps, duplicating what I see and expecting the same results. But if you're dealing with these type of screws, do it by hand. Do it with a ratchet and a nice tight-fitting Allen or hex bit, and go slow. From now on. So this, at first, how I dealt with it was I bought this extractor set. I was expecting it to absolutely work. During the day, the time that I had off, I took a couple hours, and you know, though that when you have a bit of a time frame to do something and it's unsuccessful, it irks. It irks because your mind starts thinking about, I spent this time doing this, I could have done that, I could have done that, and I'm back to square one. So out of chance, at the end, I talked to my buddy. I said, hey, all right, I gotta go to work. I gotta get out. I've gotta stop dealing with this shit. It's already pissed me off. I'm going inside. And I just has said, after 5 minutes, let me just go out there and give it another shot. I looked in my toolbox. I know that I had other extractor bits in there, different types. Mind you, I've never extracted a screw or a bolt in the real sense, where you have to really do the work, dig into it, and perform the extraction. My buddy was like, "You're performing a surgery right now. This is what it is. This is how it is. You're going deep in here and performing this extraction." So out of pure, out of a gift, it finally worked for me using this bit that I had lying around. Poof. So am I happy? Of course I'm ecstatic that I was able to do this extraction. So after 5 minutes of taking a break and saying, let me go back in there, I drilled into it with a smaller bit, just a little deeper, put a little more strength into it. And I took this bit, I tapped it in there, and it got stuck in there. And I took with a ratchet, I put the right ratchet on the bit, and I turned, and it extracted the screw. Saved my ass. Saved my ass, because if you can't remove these screws, you can't change a tire. You can't take the wheel apart. And I want to say one more thing is, I realized this the other day, and I said this to my wife. You know, I have a connection to that wheel because it's literally been the vehicle for me to turn over a new leaf. I find that whenever you have a bad habit that you want to get rid of, you have to replace it with something. And that something has to be more powerful psychologically than what you're leaving. Call it a cheat code, call it what you will. Maybe it doesn't apply to everybody. Some people can just say, oh, I'm going to stop doing this. But for some of us, we have to have a drive and a motivating factor. Something that you can't turn back on, you know? Maybe something that costs money. A lot of money. For me, bro, there's no turning back. I've seen some people online that they buy a wheel and after a month they're like, I'm selling this Bagode, or I'm selling this Leaper Kim. Bagode, sorry to say, don't get a Bagode. That's next to the point. You can't turn back. I'm selling this wheel that you see the comments. Don't give up. You know, you could do it. And I would have to, it's like getting punched really, worse than getting punched in the stomach. Ugh, I just spent this much money for this wheel and I feel like I can't learn. So it's a character thing, to where you have to muster the strength and the will to push forward with something, especially when it represents something major, like for me, kicking a smoking habit. Let me also say this. A machine shop won't save you. They won't touch it. They won't risk it to remove an Allen screw, a piece of equipment like that. You're on your own.